All righty, what is up? And welcome to the Rookie Reset. I am Andrea Fitzgerald, and I'm going to be your host today. Now, you may be saying to yourself, what the heck is a Rookie Reset? Well, folks, it would be an evening just like this, except I would be stressed the hell out because I could not miss my classroom. Quite frankly, I couldn't figure out this whole teaching thing. So what we do here on the Rookie Reset is to provide you with practical tools and tips to help you reset your classroom as a new teacher. You know, the things that you could have done yesterday, because that's really what I wanted my first year. I literally almost quit because I could not figure it out. And so oftentimes new teachers quit too soon because they're not getting the support they need in terms of the transition into teaching. So that's what we hope to do right here, is provide you with practical things that you could do in your class yesterday. So if you know a new teacher, share this with a new teacher right now. Yes, yes, yes. So today we're going to talk about handling the challenges of a new teacher in terms of your mindset. So shocking to me, teacher, was just how hard it was. I mean, dang, that thing was hard because it was like, even though I had learned all this stuff, I learned how to write lesson plan, I learned about content, nothing prepared me for being inside of those four walls. I mean, it was so challenging. And oftentimes, what I say is that if you can survive those first like 1 to 2 years, you'll be all right. But a lot of times, like, it gets challenging, and then it's like, look, I can't do this, I'm out. And that's okay too. Like, it's not for everybody, and that's totally fine. But really really want to talk about today how to have a growth mindset and get through some of those challenges, because once you get over the hump, it does get a little bit easier. So I use the acronym PUSH. Now, each one of us that are here today, like if you watching this live, like you were pushed out of, you were pushed out of your parent, out of your mom, and that's what made you here. But in order for to get to that process, like it was very challenging, right? Like, I'm sure it was painful, it hurt. And look at us all here today. We were pushed out. And so I use the acronym PUSH in terms of having a growth mindset. And so the P is pursue challenge over comfort. Now, I know I love me some comfortability. Literally, that's why 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 we are not right. We didn't start at 5:15, 5:45, but I said, listen, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm tired, y'all. Like, I'm exhausted. I have been out of town all weekend at a conference, and I came back yesterday, and I had to work, and I'm tired. Like, I stayed up late. I stayed up late because I thought I had some speaking engagements this week, but because the weather, it didn't happen. And I was like, I really was debating. I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this today. But instead, I got my butt up and I did it anyway. And, what I find is every time that I lean into challenge, that I like, and I choose the challenge instead of what feels comfortable for me, it's a lot. It does get easier. And that's something I'm continuing to learn. As I said, I've been in me university. And that's really what I'm learning. Like, every time, like, just keep choosing it over and over and over. Even if sometimes you don't get it right, even if you mess up, that's okay. Um, just keep choosing what's more challenging over what's more comfortable. And then the next one is using our mistakes as opportunities to learn. I think that this is, I think, a shocker a lot of times for new teachers. You're gonna mess up. Hear me loud and clear. You are going to botch this thing. It's gonna happen, y'all. I called inside of my own classroom, and that's how I learned that you go to Power School to get the parent's phone number. I thought I was talking to a parent. I was talking to a student. That's a really rough way to learn that, but it's going to happen. I say this all the time when I talk to new teachers. I say the losses are what make phenomenal teachers. There is not a teacher that I know that is really, really good that did not make mistakes. And teaching is so different because even though I read it in a book, it's nothing like getting in there and making those mistakes. Like, I mean, it's so many things that I did that I didn't know. I lost so many calculators my first year. I'm talking about a ton because I didn't have a structure, a system for that. But that helped me realize, okay, I've got to be like, I need to know my calculators so they don't get lost. But use them as mistakes and opportunities to learn. It does not mean that anything is wrong with you. Everybody makes mistakes. Be willing to be messy. That's the thing. It is not going to be perfect this year. Hear me loud and clear. It will not be perfect this year. You are going to mess up, but just use those opportunities to learn, you know. And the thing about learning, I think sometimes like we're in this microwave society that we think that, oh, I learned it, now I'm going to be better at it. It takes time. Like just be patient with yourself. Like um I went to this conference this past weekend and I took in so much information. And it's a lot of things as I'm leaving this conference and I'm thinking now, like, I got some things I got to tighten up. Like, I really do. And implementing these things, like this 2 days in, it's hard as hell, y'all. Like, it's hard because it is patterns that I recognize that are so unhealthy that just, they got to change. In order for me to get to my next level, they got to change. But I'm using every opportunity as an opportunity for me to learn. So just use those mistakes and just say, okay, well, let me rework it. Let me try it this time. Let me try it this way. Let me do this, you know, but don't stop it. I made a mistake and that's it, you know. I think the next one is setting the temperature. And setting the temperature is this is about when you have that challenge, which we will, decide that that you are going to move beyond that. So when you think about setting temperature, okay, so think about, we have a thermostat and we have a thermometer. Thermometer basically fluctuates based on what's going on. Like if it's hot, oh, it goes up. If it's cold, it goes, like the temperature goes down. But a thermostat, it doesn't matter if it's 50 people, 10 people, one person, is going to change the entire temperature of the room. And that is literally a matter of a response. You know, I always use the equation E plus R equals O. The R is the response. I'm gonna give you an example of this. So there were two set of teams, and this executive, they were having this executive who was looking at these two teams, and they were having the same problems. Like it was the same thing going on in there, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" Well, one of the teams responded, and they started like shooting off, like their results just went through the roof. And he was like, "The same thing's happening. How is this? What's going on here?" And the events that were occurring, they weren't any different. It was their response. And that determined the outcome. And so throughout the year, hear me loud and clear, y'all. The challenges are coming. Hear me loud and clear. You know, I see you looking at your Amazon wish list, you're getting all that stuff together. But trust me when I tell you loud and clear, them challenges, they are coming. And maybe no one has told you that, but it will be challenging. But you know, it's all about how you respond, using those opportunities to learn, choosing to challenge yourself each time, you know. You can decide how you want to respond to those. You get a choice on that. So set the temperature. You get to decide how, like, what the end of your story is. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, I'm gonna quit, this too hard. And again, that may be the case, but I believe that you have the capacity to handle whatever challenge shows up in front of you, new teacher. I believe in you. And then the last one is have an open mind to feedback. Now, sometimes, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, just tell me how fantastic I am. But you know what, y'all, where I grow the most is when I get challenged. You know, when someone tells me, hey, this part of you, this bothers me. You know, I got some feedback. I was like, oh my gosh, you're so inconsistent. You know, that was challenging to hear. But I received that. Because I want to be a reflection of the things I talk about. So I said, let me take that in. And adjust. So a lot of times, what I see with new teachers is that like thinking that you got it all figured out. You don't want to admit that I'm having a hard time up in here. Like I struggled so long as a new teacher because I didn't say anything. And I looked around everybody else and they had it all figured out. But like it's been teachers that I try to share feedback with, and they're like, I know, but you don't know, because when I go in here, it doesn't necessarily look like we know. It's a little chaotic in here, and no heed, no judgment. I've been a teacher, but it's okay if you don't know. Have an open mind to someone telling you something that you may not see, that you may disagree or not see within yourself. Like it's almost like, I like to look at it like feedback. I always say is a breakfast of champions, but it's like, how when you're trying to do your hair and you can see the front, but you can't see the back, those are blind spots. And I remember one time I was like a level 5 teacher. I thought I was cold, y'all. I'm talking about, I thought I was so good. I mean, I had level 5 best data to school. I mean, I thought I was real good. And one of my PLC coach, Miss Boyd, shout out to you. She came in there and she rated my lesson, and y'all, it wasn't no 5. I think one of them was almost a 2. She was generous with 3. But if I wasn't open to receive that, yeah, you actually didn't touch on that indicator, like you didn't, then I wouldn't have been able to make that adjustment. I think after I got that feedback, I made that adjustment. And I think on my first observation of the year, I got like all 5s. But if I wasn't willing to receive it, see that that it was parts of my lesson that weren't right and weren't tight, then I wouldn't have been able to do that. So just be open to feedback. Like, it doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. Like, especially as a new teacher, like teachers love to share information. Like, it's so many people that are willing to help you, but just have an open mind to receiving the information as a new teacher. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I believe in you. And this year, like, the challenges are coming. We know it. Les Brown often says, when we think about challenges, he said they're just like a storm. Either we're in one, we're coming out of one, or it's another one coming. It's happening. So just this year, when these challenges come, I want to challenge you to push, pursue challenge over comfort, use your mistakes as opportunities to learn, set the temperature. You get to decide how you want to respond to those challenges, and H, just have an open mind to feedback. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Rookie teachers, I believe in you. And check this out. I'm having a workshop July 20th at 1 p.m. for new teachers to just give you some practical tools to start your year strong. That is the goal of our time, is to set you up to start your year strong. And even if maybe you were a teacher from last year and you're like, oh, that thing was a whole disaster here, I need to make sure that I reset this thing so it's better this year, I want to help you with that. So please check that out. I'm going to leave the link below, but I believe that is, hold on a second, let me make sure I give y'all the correct link. It is, hold on, make sure I tell you the right one. Okay, here we go. All right, so the link is bit.ly/new teacher start. bit.ly/new teacher start. So share this with a new teacher. I believe in you, rookies. Y'all have a great day, and I'm out.